Alrighty. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Let me know if you guys can hear me really well in the chat. That's going to be perfect. Going to save me some time from checking myself. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me well. And I'm going to go to the YouTube so I can also check. Perfect. I'm able to hear myself. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. All right, we're going to wait for a couple more people to join up and trickle in, and then that way we can get started with everything. So I'll wait 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we should be all good. We're going to be discussing a couple things today, which I'm excited about. But let's get more people in. Alrighty. Perfect. Welcome in, guys. Happy Friday. It is about time it's Friday. So hopefully everybody's having a good day today already so far. All right. So we're already getting a couple more people going in. I'm going to go ahead and start it so that way we don't have to wait too long. But let's do this. All right. So there's a couple things that I want to discuss. The first thing is I'm going to give you guys the document. I'll show you guys right now. The document for today's webinar, which is going to be this. I'm going to give you guys access here. Let's copy that link. I'll send it over to you. And I'm going to pin it so that way you guys have it. This chat is going to have the call recording. It's going to have the SOPs for today. So that way, if you want to watch the whole webinar again, you definitely can. But also you have the ability to just have the actual SOP that only is like 3.5 minutes long, which if you want to watch that instead of watching the webinar, you can also do that. I made sure to do that for you guys as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into what we're going to be talking about. So in today's webinar, we're going to be figuring out and showing you guys how to send context to clients or customers or whatever it is before a call transfer using voice AI. Now, there are currently two ways of doing this. One way is via API. The other way is warm call transferring, which we recently launched, and it is available to everyone at the moment. Now, I'm going to be explaining, first of all, the simple one, which is the warm call transferring. And then we'll go into the more complex one, which is sending information that's written right to the correct department or whatever you want to do it. So we'll start off by just making using a normal agent here. Let's go ahead and go into, I'll make a new one so we can start from scratch here together. So let's go ahead and select outbound. And with this outbound agent, what I'm planning to do is show you, I'm just going to create the action, just skip straight into there. We're going to do call transfer actions. So let's just pick one right here. Should be fine. It should plug it in. There we go. Now in here, I'm going to show you guys how to use the warm transfer feature. So this, as you can see, we added a new feature here called transfer settings. It's part of the UI now, and essentially you are able to do 3 types of transfers. One transfer is a blind transfer, which obviously you will not send any information. Warm transfer is warm transfer with message is just sending a message over with the voice AI, meaning whenever somebody answers the call and let's say the assistant transfers the call over to a sales rep, right, from your team, for example. The assistant is going to say this exact message once it transfers the call to that salesperson. Now you can choose what you want it to say, so that way it knows that it is, from either a potential lead and so on and so forth. And we're going to be working on actually adding variables onto these, so that's going to be very beneficial as well. However, you will basically have everything on this tab for that. Now, if you want to send warm transfers with a contextual summary, this is what I personally recommend right now. What this will do is this will give you the leverage of being able to transfer the call to the sales rep, and then, yes, I can change the view to full screen. Thank you, Cash. Transfer the call to the sales rep, and then it'll give the sales rep a summary, like an entire summary of what happened throughout the call, what the user's looking, what they're inquiring about, and all that good stuff. So these are the simple ones. These are the ones that you can implement very easily with your current warm call transferring, or transfer actions per se. So those are pretty simple. However, the more complex one is the one where you want to send an actual text summary or whatever information you wanted to send to a specific place. So what does this mean? Maybe I can draw this out for you guys so you guys can see. So this basically means that you have a caller, right? Sorry, you have an assistant or agent, what we call it. And this agent will essentially send over, it'll send over information in two ways. One is going to be with the warm call transfer. And the other one is going to be via API. Now, what's the difference between these two, right? What's the difference between them? Well, the warm call transferring, this one is basically going to send it only via voice. So it'll only share the contextual summary via voice. It's not going to write you anything. It's not going to do anything like that. But with the API, you're going to be able to send out text messages. So like SMS, there's multiple ways actually of doing it. So SMS. Another one would be, honestly, wherever. You can do anything with it. But SMS, email, you name it, right? You're going to have the ability to send the information before the transfer to whoever. Usually, what people use this for, the API, is more than likely just going to be to send over the user's like phone number, for example, or something like that, because they needed to search up or look up their account during the call, and they don't want to have it restate. They don't want to have the user restate their phone number or things that I already told the bot. Okay, so how do we get this one up and running, right? Because we already know how to do this one. Simple. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. What you're going to do first is you're going to create a Flow Designer prompt. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to switch this to Flow Designer. And let's just pretend, wait, actually I have the admin mode on. Let me see if I can find one where I already have the one done. We can use this one. Yep, we'll use this one. And let's just pretend you have all these branches already set up. And pretty much what you want to do, the only thing that you want to do is if somebody wants to transfer a call, they have to follow these specific steps. So I'll show you guys right now. First of all, we're going to create another step, and this step is going to be called info call transfer. You can call it whatever you want to do. but this one is going to allow you to use a specific tool before transferring the call. All right, now let's create this specific tool. This is like the next step that you're gonna have to do. So you would go over to custom to actions right here, and let's go ahead. Yeah, the actions are saved. Should be good. Actions. We're gonna go to custom action, and I'm gonna move this over here. And within these custom actions, I'm gonna show you guys specifically what you have to do. So you can create one from scratch, however you want to do it. Eventually, I'm going to create a template for you guys in the template marketplace. But from here, right, what you're going to do is you're going to connect, you're going to do a post request. And within this post request, you're going to connect a webhook, right? Now, this webhook is going to be specifically attached to an automation, which I can actually create for you guys right now so you guys can see all, like, each and every step. So let me log into this for you guys. Log in here. Because I want you guys to be able to see everything from scratch. I think that's very important. Let's do a test account here. All right, here we are. I'm gonna create a workflow from scratch and call it test workflow. And you can do this with like wherever. You can even do it with like our own. Actually, come to think about it, we should probably just do it with our own here. So within the custom action here, what we're going to attach to this is a webhook that activates a workflow. All right. So in order to gather that webhook, I'm going to change the name for this, and I'm going to call it send call transfer info. And then the description of this is going to be call this API if the user is looking to speak to a manager or send information. So here you can add whatever you want for it to activate this custom action, but we're going to specify it with the flow designer. So that way you won't really need this per se. You're more going to need it to be added into the flow designer. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to duplicate this real quick, put these all the way in the end, make it easier to understand. And with this one, I'm going to go over to workflows, and I'm going to use start from scratch. Let's make this send email, right? And this should create a workflow for us that we're going to basically create the webhook right here. So we're going to grab this webhook, and in this webhook, we're going to paste it right here. Once you do that, right, and you have that set up, you can, now you don't even need the authorization. I think that should be fine. You're going to have to put in a body here, right? In which case it could be this. So this is the information that you're going to send out to the users. To your team or whatever you want to send it out to. Let me check if everything's good here. Nice, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so this is what you're going to be using to send out to the team, right? Or the sales rep, for example, from the example that we were using. In this case, we're only sending out the user's email and the user's phone number. So we're going to create the variables here. There we go. And here we're going to add, let's say, what is the user's email, question mark, and what is the user's phone number. We're going to make these both strings, and we're going to give example. Once you have these examples set in place, what you're going to do is create these messages right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the agent speak naturally. Whatever it wants to say in the moment where it's sending this information, it can say. Or you could even have it be silent, right? So that way you don't want it to say anything, right? So then we can test out the action. Let's see what went wrong. Let's first figure out, we can test the trigger here. And then we can initialize the action. My immediate guess would be, there you go, that it's going to grab the webhook information right there, as you can see. It grabs it, and here we are. We have the information, as you can see. It's sent over the email and the phone. Now, when you grab this information, you can even send an email, right? Pretty simply. I don't even know if I want to put my email here real quick. Give me one sec. I'm gonna put the email. That's simple. Okay. All right. So I connected my Gmail account, and with my Gmail account connected, I can, go ahead and send emails to whoever. So, for example, if I want to add a to email, I'll go ahead and send it to myself. And then this is going to be a call summary before transfer. And in the body, I can easily grab the variables, right? So email, and this could be, let's see how I can have it right here. Phone. Eventually, like you can add the name and all that, but in this case, in this example, I'm just going to do it like this. All right. And then pretty much I can test the step, see if everything goes through. All right. Seems like it was successful. And as you guys can see right here in my camera, I received an email. Okay. So that's the email that I just created. And then from here, how are you going to activate this workflow, right? Because this is going to send the information before the call transfer. So how are you going to activate it? Let's publish this real quick. The way that you're going to make this all work together is by going back to the assistant that we were working on. Go to the flow designer. And in here, remember what I mentioned about the tool? So if somebody wants, actually I need to add the action here. Go custom action. And we're going to use send call transfer info right here. In which case I can just go ahead and write it like that. There you go. Now it's always, no matter what, it's going to use this custom API, so custom action, before transferring the call. So all right, and then here, let's go over the next steps that you guys need to know. All right. And then under this, you're going to create another step that's called transfer. So this step, if I go to transfer here, I'm going to add one of these. And then I'm going to delete this one and remove it and place it with this. So here, no matter what the caller is going to experience is it's the assistant is going to say, all right, perfect. Let me go ahead and transfer you real quick. It's going to first, before it transfers, it's going to send the call. So it's going to call the API that would send you the email or whoever you're, forwarding over to. And then it's going to transfer the call normally, which you can even have set to be a warm call transfer with a contextual summary inside of it. So once this is all good and set, you're just going to go ahead and save. And whenever somebody's asking for a call transfer, just expect these flows to happen, right? So that's exactly how you guys are going to be able to do a warm call transfer with a voice and a contextual summary, right, with the API, either through SMS or through email. If you want to do it with more, if you want to do more, right, than this, you could even send it to other apps. Like you could send it to Google Sheets. You could send it with an actual HTTP request, which allows you to call anything with API related. You could even send yourself an SMS. Pretty much, you can determine what you want it to do, right? So right here, you can send an SMS if you connect it to your Twilio account. Things are pretty simple to set up from here. So you guys are going to have the capabilities of doing all this and more. So get creative with it. That is basically what I wanted to show you guys today. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to put them down below. Let's go ahead and check if you guys have any questions so far. Give me one sec. All right. So Vincent, you asked, what does it look like in Vue final prompt? Oh, understood. Yeah. Let me go ahead and show you here. So in Vue final prompt, there's a lot of steps in here. Let's see if I can find the exact one. And use the tool. Looks like this. That's what it looks like, right? And if you'd like, I could even include this, right? Because you could even use this in your own prompt, right? Because you're creating a prompt for this. I'm going to include this into the information that I gave you guys in the document here, so you can have it. And prompt template. And there we go. So you guys, if you guys want to just include this onto your prompt, you can easily just include it on there. And then this should work every single time. All right. Yes, of course, Vincent. I'm glad I could help. Alrighty. Well, guys, if there's no more questions that you guys have for me, I'll obviously wait here for a couple more minutes if need be. But I do want to wish you guys a very, very happy Friday. Hopefully, you guys will have an amazing weekend this weekend and have a good time with your families. I'm really, really looking forward to the next event. I am going to show you guys a couple of more things here. So just so you guys know, of course, if you guys are looking to have a lot of these setups already pre-made for you, and it's just very easy to get, pretty much snapshots, right, of voice AI for both Go High Level or Synthflow, whatever you want. You guys can easily join, the community. As you can see, I'm constantly getting more people in here, and we're almost hitting 500 so far. This is a very good community, same as the one for Synthflow. And eventually, in here, you guys are going to be able to speak with me on any issues that you guys may be having, anything like that. If you guys are looking to join into something like this, just keep in mind that all you need to do is click on this little button right here, which I can send over in the chat. And it's going to, have you fill out a form. And not only that, it's going to probably call you. It's gonna have a voice AI call you, and it's gonna get you into the community and all that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Synthflow is amazing. We're going places. It's just a matter of being keeping the quality up and as good as possible all the time, 24/7. So yeah, if you guys are looking to join the community, I'm looking to contact you guys in there really fast. And yeah, hopefully all goes well for you guys this weekend. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next webinar this Friday. All right. So that being said, thank you guys and peace out.